Welcome back to the Tiny Air Hanger. This is Mike. I'm coming at you with another video. This time I want to talk to you about the Badcube Red Alert, the Security Director Recon Justice Force. Okay, that's a mouthful there. But it's from the Oldtimer series, and let's take a quick look at this box. It is super plain, super simple, and super in line with what Badcube does. And there it is. Let's go ahead and have a look at this car mode before we do some fun with it. Now, I think it's kind of cool how, well, it looks good, and it has a couple of features, and it's definitely right in line with the Lamborghini. Now, I don't like the fact that you don't have the air induction on the side there, which is in almost all of the other Lamborghinis, which I don't know if that's just a red alert thing. Pretty clean on the bottom, pretty much. And now you can pop the headlights up, which is now kind of turning into a thing, is to have headlights pop up. It's really easy, just pop them up. So let's go ahead and do some comparisons with some other Lamborghinis. So here he is next to a KO Tiger Tracks and an official X-Trans crack up. And I have to say, it looks pretty good. I mean, I like Lamborghinis. And the thing is that maybe it's not so much any Lamborghini. I like Diablos the most, but the Countach, you know, it has its thing. Countach has been around. Let's get a good look at these guys. Now, it doesn't quite roll as well as I would like. Maybe there's a mistransformation in there for part of that. But yeah, this thing is a really nice looking car mode, and I still like X-Transwatt's car mode the best. I mean, this thing it's solid, it rolls really well, it looks good. And one quick thing about this Tiger Tracks, actually, that was my first one to display on a shelf. It's a KO, but I like it a lot, and I used it because it broke up the color on the shelf, so it was nice to have a yellow instead of all the red. Let's go ahead and get on to transforming this guy. And I'm going to see if I can keep this one mostly in frame. Okay, so here he is transformed, and I'm going to tell you that this thing is a beast. Badcube transformations are not fun, and not enjoyable, and not easy. But wasn't quite as bad as I thought it would be. Kind of got hung up on. I got hung up on the legs. The rest of it was actually pretty intuitive. To me, the legs were not. It's not even the legs, just the feet. So that kind of got me hung up on that. But the articulation is actually pretty good, and you've got the ankle tilts. You can get some good poses, and he's relatively stable. Obviously you're gonna have to fake it till you make it, kind of stuff. But I was a little off put about the backpack. I just think it's a little bit too busy of a backpack. I'm okay with the backpack, but this thing was just a bit too busy for my liking. So that's an issue. So I don't like these door panels hanging off the arms. It gets in the way of articulation big time. So when you're trying to move his arm, it doesn't go. You can't get the poses you want with that. You can't get this moved past that. You have to move the whole arm assembly, and then that kind of breaks the sculpt a bit. They've engineered it really well. It's a very well engineered figure. It's just those doors that they left on there. I would have liked them to have tucked away somewhere, or just an option somehow. But other than that, it's a great looking figure. And then you've got arms out and arms forward. This part here, you have to really make sure it's pinned in just right. I felt like it was just too tight of a connection, so that was an issue. But looking at it overall, I think it looks good. You've got some improvements. That slides up. She just keeps wanting to slide up on me. And I think during my transformation process, I did get this used. Maybe it wasn't transformed properly from the get-go. So I'll put that out there. Let's see him next to his good buddy Sideswipe. I think they do look good together, and looking at the pictures, I thought the Red Alert one would looks better than the Badcube Sideswipe, and I think in person I'm right. And the lower legs clean up so much better on this guy than over here. There's a bit of junk on the top and the backpack, and so yeah, the back doesn't look as good in my opinion. I like the chest; it looks more like the cartoon. This is just a big, huge chest on that one, and there's just pluses and minuses to each one of them. But I think this does look good, and ultimately, I'm happy that I bought it. And in fact, I don't know about $90. I got mine for like $60. So if you're buying them for $90, I don't know if it's worth $90. So there he is. They both have big backpacks, but I think that one just looks cleaner on the backpack, but not the legs. The legs clean up really well, and the way they did it, it is a little bit of frustration. Let's have a look at the accessories. First accessory we're going to talk about is the gun. So let's go ahead and get that gun in his hand and see how it holds. And it has the usual pin that you would expect with an MP style gun. And holds it well. One thing I want to point out, this cannon, I don't know if you saw it in there, but the cannon was integrated into the transformation. So that's something that I think is pretty cool. Yeah, it holds on there just fine. Now let's get a couple of faces, and you get a couple of white pieces if you want to cover up the headlights. So lastly, I want to talk about, should you get this over the official, or even okay over the official? And I say that the look is better. It looks better than the official. It looks sleeker. There's a couple things I don't like. I don't like this junk hanging off of the arms. And I know the arms are an issue on the Sideswipe one too. But for the price, though, I would have expected a little bit better. I just know, I feel like if, say, X-Transbots were to do it, I would have probably liked it a little bit better, if X-Transbots did it. But Badcube gets really close on the sculpt, really close on a lot of stuff, terrible transformations. But anyway, I would recommend it if you could get it cheaper than the $90. I think $60 is a good price. Teddy Hanger out.